Hey Nishamini, so we're going to take a look today at how to implement some of those IEP accommodations in a virtual classroom. And even if the students are here and in person, but maybe you don't have the manpower within your classroom to provide some of those accommodations, here's a way that the student's Chromebook can do it for you. So there's this new read and write Google Chrome extension that has been made available to you. I'm going to show you how to use that today. I'm going to show you two more options as well. There's also a way the students' Chromebooks that's already built into the Chromebook for it to read anything that it puts a box around. And the very third thing I'll show you today is just Kami. And if you put anything into Kami, it has an option for it to be read to you. So let's start off with read and write, and here we go. The first thing I want to show you is a new extension that was put onto your laptop or made accessible on your laptop, the same as the Chromebooks. And up here it is this purple puzzle piece, and it's called Read and Write for Google Chrome. Now, if you don't have that, all you have to do is go into your app store. So I have mine here. It says Chrome Web Store. If you don't have a Chrome Web Store tab, you can just type into Google Chrome Web Store. And when you go there, right here into the search, you can type in Read Write. And you can see that Read and Write comes up, it's purple. There is no box for me to add it because I've already added it. So it's something that you can add yourself. If you already have it, but it's not showing up on this menu here, you can go right here to this puzzle piece, this grayed out puzzle piece. And this grayed out puzzle piece shows you all the apps that you have running, all the extensions you have running, but they're not all pinned to your start menu. And just touching the little pin button, as you can see, here's Read and Write. And if I click on there, it turns blue, and the blue means it's pinned. And the one that is clear, which doesn't have a color, means it's not pinned. Once it's pinned, you can quickly access it. It's right here. And now let's go to somewhere that I need something read to me. So it doesn't matter what it is. When I go to Google, I'll type in baseball. And I'll find an article here about baseball. What I want Read Write to do is to read this out loud to me. So here I go. I'm going to click on the extension. Now, when I clicked on the extension, it gave me all these options. Now, look how it says, you have 4 days left to try our premium features. We are not going to have a premium account as of yet, but all the standard features are what we're looking for. The hover speech is the most important one for us. So I'm going to click on hover speech. And obviously what it does is once I hover over something, it is going to allow it I don't know if you noticed, but all I did was brought my mouse in front of where I wanted what I wanted to be read to me. And then it automatically, after a couple seconds, it highlighted it, and then it started to read it. When I wanted to stop reading or pause, I use this button here, pause or stop, and that's it. I'll go to something else. So we're back in Canvas, and I found something in a page, and we're going to use the hover to speech. So I want to show you that it will read what is in the rich content editor. So once again, I clicked on my Read Write. It brought up this menu here. I'm going to click on hover to speech. I'm going to hover over where I want it to begin reading.
Importing material is the process we will use in the fall to load large chunks of existing material into a new course, entire courses, multiple modules.
I'll hit stop. And now let's go and find something else like a quiz. So we have a quiz here in front of us, and we're going to show you how Read and Write will read the quiz to you. So first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you go and you click on your Read Write, and then you're going to choose Hover to Speech. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to go right in front of where we want something to be read.
Question 1 points. One psychology term refers to things which can be measured directly, such as feelings and emotions. Group of answer choices. Construct. Scientific research. Hypothesis. Analysis. Flag this question. Question 2 1 points. What kind of testing takes place in the real world where variables can't always be controlled? Group of answer choice.
So there you go. You can see how it's going to read the question, how it's going to announce the question choices, how it's not only going to read the question, but the question number, how many points are available. It highlights what it's reading. Students can choose the stop feature if they wanted to stop reading the quiz, and then obviously they can just go back and start again. So this is a really good way for your students to be able to have a quiz within Canvas to be read to them.
Psychology term.
Read and Write is not a perfect app or extension. There are always drawbacks to any app or extension that we choose to use. There are workarounds to make things work better. Here comes one of those things in which Read and Write is going to need a workaround with. So I got to Canvas and I found a page of directions. It says directions on bulk update your calendar. So what we're going to do here is we want Read Write to read that embedded Google Doc to us. But Read Write's not going to do everything we want. So in this situation, Read Write will read things like the title. I can use Hover Speech here. And with Hover Speech, I can click on Hover Speech and I can go right to where I want it to read.
Directions on bulk update your calendar. Previous next.
Now, I don't know if you can tell, but what happened was it read the heading. It also read these bottom two words here. It skipped right over my embedded Google Doc. Now, that same Google Doc, if the students had access to it through Google Docs, you could go over there, and now the students have the ability to have it read to them here in Google Doc. So you can also notice that while in Google Docs, I do not have the Hover to Speech option. And you can see up here that I put my cursor where I want something to be read, and I simply hit play.
Bulk update your Canvas calendar by duplicating events. Bulk update your Canvas calendar by duplicating events. Here is a way that you can bulk update your calendar in cross-listed classes. Read the directions below and then one.
I'll hit pause because I wanted to stop, or I could have hit stop if I wanted to. Sometimes we have to search for workarounds that are not in the extension or app that we're using. One of those workarounds is called Select to Speak, and it's built right into a student's Chromebook. So in this next part of the video, I'm going to show you how to show students how to access this Select to Speech option in their Chromebooks in case they need to do a workaround. The first thing you want to check is that your student has this accessibility feature. This is where you find the Start menu. This is where you find the Settings button. Click on that. And at the bottom, you can see the word Accessibility. Make sure that's toggled on, and you're good. So we're back in Canvas, and I'm back on those directions that say bulk update your Canvas calendar by duplicating events. The last time we tried to do this, I was using the Read Write. And here's the Read Write extension right here in the top. Now, this time I'm on a student's Chromebook. I'm not on our teacher laptop because this, what we're about to do is only available on those Chromebooks. So instead of using the Read Write, which we know did not work the way we wanted it to work, we're going to do that workaround. So here's that workaround. Now, in the bottom of my screen here, you can see that I have this. This is called Select to Speak, but I have it turned on. You or a student will have it, but they might not have it turned on. So let me go to this menu here. I'm gonna click on this menu. And what comes up for the students is this thing called accessibility. And then you simply have to turn it on by just clicking next to it. If I want to turn on something else, I can turn it on just by clicking next to it. That was high contrast mode. A lot of things here that you might not have noticed before, like the full screen magnifier or a dock magnifier. Let me turn off high contrast mode. When you turn something off, it'll take effect immediately. What we're looking to turn on right now is select to speak. Okay, it is on. It's down here on the bottom. You would tell a student, click the select to speak, go up to where you want it to read. You're going to then click and drag this purple box around the text you want it to read, and there you go.
Bulk update your Canvas calendar by duplicating events.
Now, if we wanted it to read something different, we could go down, make sure we select to speak, put a box around something different. Takes a second or two just to register, and then it'll start reading.
Asterisk if you already spent hours of time making sure your calendar was correctly populated, don't.
Now, in order to get this to stop reading, down here, this select to speak button, when it is working, you can see that it turns into a stop button. So now we're looking at a document in Kami. When I open this up, this is a worksheet that I opened that I had made in a Google document, and I brought it into Kami, and automatically it's formatted. But now I wanted to read all the information there. As you can see, this is a chart. But below the chart, you have a reading. You have questions. So let me just show you how this would work. You would just start here with the read page, and you would hit play. This is in text to speech.
Effects of the New Deal. Benefits. Group. Hardships. Workers.
As you can see, it was reading any text that it found under the picture, in the group, in the text headings, anything it found. Now when I get down to the next page.
Provide a summary of 3 opportunities. Provide a summary of 3 hardships. Native Americans. Mexican Americans.
And now here is a larger reading.
A good deal for workers. The New Deal helped many workers by strengthening the labor movement. First the NERA and then the Wagner Act.
Right here, you can change the speed of the reading. Here you can change, this is the accent of the reading. And then finally, you can have it read it over and over again, and you can go back to a sentence, you can move ahead a sentence. So that's how you would get something in Kami to read the text aloud to you, just by using the built-in tool, which is called text-to-speech. Another scenario a student might find themselves in is that they've opened up a document and they've tried to use read and write, and they've tried to use the text-to-speech in Chrome, but it just doesn't work. So the third option you could do is, yes, if a teacher opened up something for you in Kami, it'll read it to you. But you, as the student, could open something up in Kami. And the way you would do that is when you go to the Kami app, it's going to bring up this screen right here. And this screen gives you the options of how to open up a document. Generally, these kids are going to choose from my computer because that document that they opened up in Canvas is going to download to their computer as a PDF. And when they open it up in Cami, they're going to have the option to run the OCR. It's going to pop up immediately. But if it doesn't pop up immediately, look at this screen here. This shows you what menu to click on. So in the far right-hand corner, these lines here, click on that first. And then you're going to click here, which says Run OCR. Once you do that, the PDF, which was a picture of something, has now turned into text that can be read. This tutorial video showed you how to use Cami's text-to-speech, how to use Google's Read and Write app, and finally, we showed you how to use the Select to Speak option built into the student Chromebook.